Welcome back to Module 7, Teaching Reading with the New English Textbooks. Now we will look at stages of teaching reading. We all know that reading is an interactive process. That is to say, the brain receives visual information at the same time, interprets or reconstructs the meaning the writer had in mind when he wrote the text. This process does not only involve the printed page, but also the reader's knowledge of the language in general, of the word and of the text types. During the process of reading, all these factors interact with each other and compensate each other. Therefore, a proficient reader should have good language skills, recognizing words and phrases, understanding sentence and structures. Also, he or she should have relevant knowledge about the topic, the organization of the type of text, and general knowledge about the world. Based on such understanding, teaching reading in the classroom divides reading activities into basically 3 stages: pre, while, and post-reading, in which bottom-up and top-down techniques are integrated to help students in their reading comprehension and in increasing their language efficiency in general. In this module, we will take a look at pre-reading, reading, and post-reading stages. While looking at each, we will also discuss the purposes and activities and examples that can be done in each stage. Now, let's begin with the pre-reading stage. I'm going to talk about the purposes of pre-reading stage and propose some activities to match those purposes. Now, imagine 2 scenarios. In the first scenario, you are going to see a film which you know nothing about. You are expected to buy a ticket and give up a Saturday night with your beloved to see this film. It could be an awesome movie, or it could be a waste of your time. In the second scenario, you are going to see a film which you have been waiting for it to come out for months. You have watched its trailer, read its reviews, and wish to buy a ticket at the moment it goes on sale. In your opinion, which film you will feel more motivated to watch and understand more about its plot as you watch it? Pre-reading or activities done before reading to prepare for the act of reading should have the same goals in mind. They should give students some insights into the topic and prepare students to read. As you can see here, pre-reading stage has 4 important purposes. The first purpose is to activate or build students' background knowledge of the subject. The second is to get students become familiar with the language needed in coping with the text. The third one is to help students to predict the contents of the reading text. And the last and very important purpose is to motivate students to read. The following activities aim at activating and building students' background knowledge of the subject, teaching new vocabulary and structures, and predicting the contents of the reading text, and ultimately preparing for students for the reading stage. Now, let's begin with the first purpose of pre-reading activities, which is to activate students' background knowledge. Activating students' background knowledge is also one of the most important principles for teaching reading. For the first purpose, if students already know something about the topic, then teachers can activate their knowledge and share this knowledge around the class. If students do not know anything about the topic, teachers should help them build background knowledge on the topic through appropriate pre-reading activities such as discussion, role play, text previewing, introduction and discussion of key vocabulary, and so on. All pre-reading activities must accomplish both goals, building new background knowledge as well as activating existing one. There are many activities teachers can use to build and activate students' background knowledge. Particularly useful and popular here are questioning and brainstorming, where students generate information on the topic based on their own experience and knowledge, as you can see in example 1. In this example, students are asked questions related to their common knowledge about bears living in the wild and also their reaction if they were in the situation facing bears. The questions are easy to be answered and help activate the students' prior knowledge before they read. To activate students' previous knowledge, sometimes questions in the textbook are not enough and personalized. For example, in English 10, Unit 1, Family Life pre-reading part, students are asked 2 questions basing on a picture. However, it's better if the teacher explores the topic further by asking students some more questions concerning what they can observe from their family's daily life. More specifically, what each member in the family often do, whether family members often help each other in doing household chores, whether your family members are happy doing housework, and so on. Answers to these questions will help motivate students and help build background knowledge about the topic as well as brainstorm certain vocabulary around the topic. It is clear that teachers should teach some new vocabulary and structures before students read the text, as this helps facilitate reading comprehension and give them necessary vocabulary to handle the text. However, some other teachers do not think in the same way. For them, letting students guess the meaning of the new words basing on the context of the text is more helpful because it prepares them better for real-life reading. In real-life reading, most of the time without a dictionary, students need to read on their own and construct the meaning of what they read. What they need is strategies that help them fulfill word guessing. And teachers should understand what we are training students in reading strategies. So we should do 2 tasks at the same time, facilitating students' reading comprehension and training them in the strategy of guessing the meaning of the new words. The activities we suggest here will hopefully help teachers to teach vocabulary thematically, logically, and in context. Take a look at this pre-readings activity taken from English 12, Unit 3. The purpose of this part is to teach vocabulary using the pictures provided. The task is, as you can see, a little bit easy for students at this grade. Therefore, teachers should expand a little bit more in order to help activate a richer background. They may ask questions to get the students elaborate more on each picture. For example, why are the icebergs in the Arctic melting or thawing? What effects may this phenomenon have on people's lives? Where does soot come from? And what does soot cause? And so on. A lot of small exchanges of information can take place, which help to build more interesting and thicker background as a base for more understanding of the topic, like carbon pollution. In pre-reading stage, students are sometimes asked to make predictions about the contents of the reading. This predicting activity gives students a purpose for reading and develops relevant background knowledge, which makes comprehension of the text easier. In the pre-reading exercise as given in the example, students are asked to predict the contents of the text basing on the title and a list of words. Previewing the text, particularly the title, subheadings, and figures, also helps readers predict what they are going to read, and this hopefully helps them read faster and understand the text better. Even teachers, if time permits, can ask students to compose a short story using the list of words given. This can be done individually or in groups, and later on let vote for the best story and the closest to the text. This is not purely about predicting, but also motivating for students to read the text. We have just discussed the 3 purposes of pre-reading tasks. They are activating student previous knowledge, pre-teaching some necessary language, including vocabulary and structures, and predicting the contents of the text. All these activities serve another purpose and very important one, which is creating motivation for students to read the text in the reading stage. Motivation to read is a key task for teachers in the pre-reading stage. According to Rambrell, if students are highly motivated to read, they are more likely to become engaged readers who are knowledgeable, strategic, and socially interactive. Just about 10 minutes of doing pre-reading activities hopefully will help bring students into the reading and read with eagerness. To summarize, teachers should remember to spend time on organizing activities in pre-reading stage because these activities will help activate and build students' background knowledge about the topic of the reading, teach new vocabulary that is present in the reading text, predict the main contents of the text, and motivate students to read. Also remember to diversify the activities in pre-reading part to keep students' interest in reading. And don't forget to expand more to exploit and build more background knowledge for the wide reading stage. After all, reading is no longer a passive activity if teachers know how to teach it. By activating common knowledge, guessing word meaning, predicting the text contents, and motivating students, all these help to cultivate an active pre-reading part that serves as a good foundation for the subsequent part while reading. The key job that teachers hold for pre-reading stage is make the unknown known. Alright, you have just learned about the purposes and activities of pre-reading stage. Now let's have some discussion. Go to Module 7, Discuss, to have some sharing with your partners about what you have learned in this video clip.